All right, so get ready for a wild ride today. We're diving into a listener-submitted idea, and let me tell you, this one's straight out of sci-fi. We're talking a humanoid hockey league.
When I first heard it, I thought, okay, someone's been watching too many futuristic sports movies. But the more you dig in, the more you see how this could actually, well, maybe not actually, but it could be possible.
Exactly. And that's what's so fun about these deep dives. We're taking those what-if ideas
Mm.
and really, no pun intended, hitting the ice with them.
Hitting the ice. Nice one.
Had to. So where do we even start with something like this? Well, this article we found, it all starts with, believe it or not, Elon Musk.
Yeah, our good friend Elon and his Optimus robot, which, gotta say, just the fact that it exists is kind of wild when you think about it.
For sure. So for anyone who missed that memo, Optimus is basically Elon's big play in the whole humanoid robot game. Still early days, but
It shows the direction things are going, right? Like, we're not talking theoretical robots anymore.
exactly. In this article we found, they take that ball and run with it. But it's not just robots playing hockey. It's imagine a whole league designed for what these robots can do.
And that's crucial. We're not talking about limitations. We're talking possibilities.
And the possibilities are kind of mind-blowing. Like, get this. They were talking about these robots having sensors that can actually measure ice friction.
Hold on. To, like, get a grip and move better.
Yeah. Like, imagine skating, but you can feel every little ridge, every bit of whatever makes ice slippery or not.
So they'd be gliding almost perfectly. Sign me up for that. I want to try.
Right. And then it gets even wilder.
Yeah.
They were talking about these robots being modular.
Modular, like Lego robots.
Kinda like swap out parts mid-game, need more speed, you swap in a faster motor, better puck handling, different arm.
Whoa. Okay, now that's just getting unfair. Can you imagine trying to coach against that?
Right. It'd be like strategy on a whole other level. Talk about a steep learning curve. And, it gets better. They were mentioning these robots having, get this, energy-based powers.
Energy-based powers, like what, they shoot lasers?
Not lasers, but close. Think like magnetic pulses, sonic waves.
Now we're just making stuff up, right? That's not even hockey anymore.
Hey, we're just getting started. And speaking of not hockey anymore, we haven't even gotten to the rink itself.
Oh, yeah, the article mentioned they weren't sticking with a regular old rink, right?
Yeah, not even close. Try to picture this. Instead of just flat ice, you've got platforms, tunnels, maybe even places where these robots are flying through the air.
Wait, hold on. Flying? How are you even going to referee that? You'd need like a whole new rule book, like a 3D rule book or something.
Hey, and that's what's so cool about this whole thing. They're really reimagining everything. And don't even get me started on the ice itself.
The ice? What, is it not even going to be ice anymore?
That's the thing. They were talking about like shape-shifting ice, different textures even. Get this, manipulating gravity itself.
Wait, what? Manipulating gravity so the puck's just floating around or something?
Imagine like a low gravity zone.
Yeah.
The puck just sails across the ice.
Okay, now that is just wild. You got to give them credit for creativity, that's for sure.
It's like they said, what's impossible? And decided to just go for it. And believe me, we're just scratching the surface here. We haven't even gotten to the actual gameplay yet. If the robots and the rink are this insane, I can only imagine what a match would look like. So we've got robots playing hockey on a rink that's basically a futuristic obstacle course with gravity-defying ice. What could possibly be next?
Well, you know they weren't going to use a regular puck, right?
Oh, there's a special puck too. Don't tell me it lights up. It plays music.
Think more along the lines of changing weight, speed, even splitting into multiple pucks mid-play.
Hold on, multiple pucks. Okay, that's just... How are you even supposed to defend against that? Talk about unpredictable.
Right, like you think you've got things figured out, then bam, 2 pucks come at you. What do you even do? It'd be like that old video game, the one, Asteroids.
Yeah, except instead of a spaceship, it's this super fast robot with energy-based powers. Which, by the way, we should probably circle back to that. This whole destructive gameplay thing they mentioned.
Oh, yeah, where the robots can actually get damaged during the game.
I mean, it makes sense in a way if we're talking robots, not humans. Suddenly the stakes are different. You can have those big hits, parts flying off. Adds to the spectacle,
And think about what it means for strategy. Coaches wouldn't just be worried about scoring goals. They'd have to manage damage control, make decisions about when to pull a damaged player.
It'd be like a whole new level of coaching. You'd almost need like what's it called? A pit crew.
A pit crew. Now you're thinking. Imagine, instead of halftime being about orange slices and pep talks, it's all hands on deck, technicians swarming the robots, making repairs, swapping out parts.
And those transparent walls they were talking about? The fans would be watching all that happen live.
It'd be like a whole other show happening below the ice. And while we're on the subject of fans, this article doesn't forget about them either.
Oh no, they went all out on the whole fan experience thing. Which honestly, with everything else going on, it's almost like, how do you even compete with all that?
Right. Like, what are you going to do? Have a t-shirt cannon? That's not going to cut it when you've got shape-shifting ice. But this article, they had some ideas.
They weren't messing around. They were talking about like AR and VR for every fan. You could experience the game from the robot's point of view.
I mean, I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. I don't think I could handle being inside a robot's head during all that.
It'd be intense, that's for sure. But imagine the possibilities. You could feel what it's like to fly through the air, make those crazy shots.
And then they were even suggesting that fans could directly influence the game, like real-time voting on rule changes, even controlling aspects of the puck itself.
Hold on, fans controlling the puck? Okay, now that's just giving them too much power. What's next? Are we going to let them decide who wins the Stanley Cup too?
Hey, stranger things have happened. And that's kind of the point this whole article is making. Like, what if we throw out all the rules, all our preconceived notions about hockey, and just start from scratch?
I know, it's a slippery slope, right? At what point does it stop being hockey and become something else entirely?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And speaking of something else entirely, we haven't even touched on the hybrid sports they were suggesting.
Hybrid sports. Okay, you got to give me an example because now you're just messing with me.
All right, buckle up because I'm about to blow your mind. They were talking about things like, get this, basket hockey.
Basket what now? Is that even a word?
They were throwing around all kinds of crazy combos. Soccer hockey. There was even, this is where it gets really out there, Quidditch hockey.
Quidditch hockey. Okay, you win. Now you're just making things up.
Hey, I'm just telling you what the article said. But it does make you think, right? What if, instead of just adding robots to existing sports, we use this tech to invent totally new ones?
I mean, it's not totally crazy when you think about it. Look at what's already happening with, like, drone racing, esports.
Exactly. All those lines are getting blurry. Who's to say this whole robot hockey league thing, as wild as it sounds now, won't be just another Tuesday in a few years?
Well, you've definitely given me a lot to think about. Robots with energy powers, shape-shifting ice, Quidditch hockey. My brain's officially fried.
And that's what we aim for here at the Deep Dive. But seriously, what this article made me realize, it's not even really about the hockey, is it? It's about how tech is making us rethink what's possible in sports.
Totally. And who knows, maybe this whole conversation, maybe it sparks an idea in one of our listeners. Maybe they're the ones who actually make this stuff happen. Speaking of our listeners.
Oh, you know what time it is, right? It's that part of the show.
You know it.
Yeah.
So, listeners, you've heard us talk about this crazy robot hockey league. Now we want to hear from you. If you could add one thing, anything at all, a rule, a robot ability, whatever, what would it be?
Head over to our website, find this episode, and let us know. We might even feature some of your ideas on a future deep dive.
Until next time, folks, keep those imaginations running wild.